What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you guys are having an amazing Friday. So, Draya Michele from Basketball Wives is 39 years old, and she announces her pregnancy with NBA star Jalen Green, who is 22 years old. And the caption, it's cut off here, but this is what she wrote. It says, Happy International Women's Day. As women, we navigate through so much, often leading us to question, what is my purpose? For me, the magic lies in motherhood and the awe inspiring ability to bring life into this world over the span of 2 decades. It's my superpower. And if anything can surpass the wonder of being a woman, it is the privilege of bringing another woman into existence, with a little pink bow emoji. She says, We are overjoyed to share our love for you, little girl. I am excited to speak words to the daughter I never thought I'd have. We are anxious about your arrival, but take your time. This world can be tough. But know you are being brought into a space of love, security, and adornment. Hashtag 28 weeks, hashtag 7 months, hashtag coming May 2024, hashtag girl mom. So, congratulations first and foremost to Jalen Green and to Draya Michele. The internet is dragging Draya for filth, okay? One of the reasons is, of course, the obvious, the age gap, right? So she is 39, she's almost 40, and Jalen Green, who is new to the Houston Rockets, he's only 22. The second reason is she has a son right here. So his name is Nico Howard, and he is just 2 years in different ages, or around the same age, I should say, because there's multiple speculations of his age. He's in his 20s, his early 20s, just like Jalen Green. Okay, I found everything from 20 to 21, but the point is, she is having a child, a little girl, with a man that is her son's age. Now, to give another side to the story, she was only 17 when she had Nico in Pennsylvania, okay? Again, this is allegedly in speculation because women lie about their age all the time, and I keep seeing different ages. But the premise is that there's a 20 age gap between the age of Draya Michele and now Jalen Green, right? She's having a child with a man who is extremely close to her son's age. I remember, and I'm not super old myself, okay, but there was a man, a young man, younger than me. He was 22, actually, now that I think about it. This was a few years ago. But anyway, he was 22 and he was interested in dating me. And you know what I told this young man? This is a quote. I told him I was very flattered, first of all, and I thanked him. And then I said, Go be 22. Okay. And the reason why I said that, right? I said, go play video games. I said, you're even, you could date like a late teenager, 18, 19. Don't go younger than 18 though, because that's illegal and problematic. But 22, your brain isn't even fully formed yet, right? And I know when I was 22, I made a lot of just crazy decisions because, the whole adage of being young and dumb is very real. We were two different places in our lives. And I wanted something a little bit more serious and concrete because that's where I was in my life, and that's fine. But I also wanted him to enjoy his youth because it goes so fast. And for me, I feel like it would have just been unfair to both of us, right? Particularly him, because it's like, um, and I wasn't even thinking about getting pregnant or having children, especially with someone so young. And I'm, it wasn't even a 20-year age gap. But I was just thinking, like, in your early 20s, that's a time to travel. Like, that's why, like, I traveled, you know what I mean? Like, I had fun with my friends, like go to school, whatever the case may be, right? He was a young boxer, actually. And so I was thinking to myself, like, focus on your career, your boxing matches, whatever the case may be. whatever you want to do, because the world is your oyster at 22 years old. Draya is twice this young man's age, and that was the first thing that I thought of. And of course, I know everyone's not going to think like me and everyone is different, but at 39, you have so much more life experience than this young man who is just beginning to enter, this world as a full adult. He could only have just bought you an adult drink last year. You know what I mean? Like, if you would have met him 2 years ago, y'all wouldn't have been able to even go to a bar together. Like that doesn't spark some type of, alarm or a signal to just say, you know what, I'm flattered, but let me go find a man closer to my age. I just, I think, in my opinion, and this is just my commentary and my thoughts, I think that it is so unfortunate for someone to be saddled with a kid at 22 years old, especially if you're not married, especially if you're just beginning your career. Like in your early 20s is a point in your life where it's socially acceptable to make mistakes, right? To date multiple people, to just be youthful and be young and enjoy life. I mean, taking care of another human being is a huge responsibility. And to do that to this young man at 22 years old, man, like, and I feel like you don't even get clarity on how precious your 20s are until you do get a little bit older, until you are in your 30s, until you are, in your late 30s, going into your early 40s, whatever the case may be. Like, every single decade is precious, but in your 20s, like, that is when you should be having the time of your life. He has all of the time in the world, especially him being a man. Men can have, what, Al Pacino just had a baby and he's what, in his 80s? And I'm not, of course, advocating for that either. But what I'm saying is men have all the time in the world essentially to have children. At 22 years old, that is, to me, a recipe for disaster, especially since she has a son that is around his age. And my fear would be that Jalen would grow really resentful, and maybe not now, you know what I mean? And maybe not even next year, but 5, 10 years down the road, looking back at it. Like, a lot of people say that if, when they had older partners, and I mean like significant, like, 15 plus year age gap in their partners, they feel like this person was predatory. They feel like this person groomed them essentially, because when you are young, there is a certain, naivete that comes with not having enough lived experience. He's only been around the sun 22 times. You know what I mean? So for him, it's just like, oh, well, this attractive woman is interested in me. And, 22-year-old men, they don't think with their top brain all the time. They're 22. They're going to follow whatever shiny object that comes their way. And that is essentially, again, because their prefrontal cortex in their brain isn't even fully developed. Draya is almost a 40-year-old woman. Like, to me, I would just be so embarrassed. I would feel like people are dragging her for filth. Okay, that she waited to announce her pregnancy on International Women's Day, that she's dating a man that is her son's age. They are calling her all types of, groomers and this and that. And I'm not saying that's what she is. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that I feel like this is going to be a lesson learned for both of them. I feel like if you were going to date somebody that's 20 years difference, an age gap, I would think like, 40 and 60, like 60 and 80. You know what I mean? Like when you're both seasoned adults, right? But at 22, you're just now starting to really live life. You know what I mean? Like that's the typical age where people graduate college, they begin their careers. Drea has been in her career for quite a while, right? She's had multiple seasons on Basketball Wives. She's a seasoned vet in the entertainment industry, and Jalen is just beginning. And it's just, and the fact that her son is the same age, it's just not a good look, in my opinion. My thing is, I feel like the person who's going to get hurt the most in this is the baby girl, the innocent baby. It's always the kids, the children. But hopefully, uh, you know, the baby will be insulated and protected from the foolishness. Maybe she can grow up to have a really close relationship with Nico, her older brother, even though they're a generation apart, and close with her parents. But again, being in your early 20s and then dating someone in their almost 40s, those relationships don't typically work out just because of the huge gap between their life experience. But you guys, I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts on Drea and Jalen Green having a baby, the age gap. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.